Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you tuning in for the first time, welcome. I'm here to give you some advice and to hopefully help you throughout your life. So today I wanted to talk about some of the psychological effects that can come from not having a father or not having a mother. Sometimes it doesn't affect you at all if you have good role models in your life, and I hope that's the case with most of you all, but sometimes it can affect you. I wanted to talk about one specific one that I see often with my adult patients. So I see just teenagers and adults, and that's the population that I work with. And I have a lot of adults that come in and they grew up without a father or without a mother. I have a few that grew up with just their grandparents. And so what I often see in their lives is that it affects them in their relationships. When they have an intimate relationship, it just causes a lot of problems. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that, and I wanted to talk about things that I tell them and things that I have them do that eventually help them become better partners and better in their relationships. So that one thing that I see often in my adult patients is jealousy and anxiety when they are in a intimate relationship. So anxiety is the fear of losing someone that you love, the fear that they might not love you. And so when you think about this, what causes you to feel that is a lot of times not knowing if they love you. And so that's kind of hard. If you think about it, do we know when someone loves us? We can, guess, or we can tell by the way they treat us and the way what they do. But that is never a for sure thing. It's not like having a cup of tea. When you have a cup of tea, you can see it, and you see that I have my tea. When you're in a relationship, in any type of relationship, you can't see love. You can see by the way they treat you and what they do for you, and how they are in the relationship, but you can't really find a certain thing like, this is the love of my husband. I know that I have it, and I'm for sure certain that I have it. So that lack of knowing, sometimes we want that reassurance. And so it's normal, and it's normal to want that. But a lot of times with people that grow up without a father, we tend to have that need for reassurance and that need to make sure that people do love us. And so what I always tell patients, and what we have found out throughout all these years of therapy that I've done with patients, is a lot of times in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, first of all, your mind is very, very powerful. Sometimes it's thinking stuff that we don't even know we're thinking. And so one example is, let's say you went through a traumatic event, and there was a cup exactly like this when you were in 5th grade. You had a traumatic event, and this cup was there. And so let's say you walk into a room 10 years later, 20 years later, and that same exact cup is on someone's desk. You might not remember that cup was present when you had that traumatic event, but your mind does. And so you might walk in there and get some sort of anxiety or sad, and you don't quite know why. But our mind picks up little things like that. So our mind is very powerful. So having said that, our mind is very powerful. Sometimes you don't realize that you're thinking, my father left me, or my father didn't want to be a part of me. Of course, there's people that grow up without a father because their father passed away, or XYZ. But a lot of times when you know your father is alive and didn't want to be a part of your life, it's kind of hard to accept when other people love you, because in the back of your head you're thinking, if my own father left me and didn't love me, why would I believe that this stranger that I met loves me? And so it's kind of hard to accept that in your mind. You think that nobody loves you. So when we think like this, we kind of need that reassurance from our partner a little bit more. We start asking them, do you love me? Do you love me? Or where are you? Why aren't you with me? And we start becoming just more needy and more possessive, and that could lead to jealousy. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think of this for a bit and think of, do I think that I don't deserve love because my father left me or my father didn't want to be a part of me? So think of that, and I want you to think of a 6-year-old little boy whose father left him, and he comes up to you and he asks you, I don't think I deserve to be loved because my father didn't even love me, and I think that no one's going to love me. What would you tell that 6-year-old? Would you agree with him? Of course you wouldn't, right? So just how you would reassure him and you would try to get him to not think that way, that's what I want you to do with you. I want you to reassure yourself and realize that what your dad did when he left you, or your mother when she left you, has nothing to do with you. Just like you would tell any young little boy or little girl, that's what I want you to tell yourself. His lack of responsibility, his lack of being a man, all that bad, I could say so many bad things about parents that aren't in their children's lives. All that has nothing to do with you. And so you need to realize that. And once you start thinking that way and changing your mentality and trying to work through that, then you become more understanding, and then you love yourself a little bit more. Then you realize that you don't need that reassurance from your partner anymore. Yes, we still want them to treat us well, and you want to be with someone that loves you, but you're not going to need that reassurance. That that jealousy will go away, that asking them where they're at, or asking them to call you every 5 minutes, that will eventually go away. If you do feel that you need to work through this with a therapist, please let me know, and I will research therapists in your area and give you a few names. But I will link down in the description Psychology Today, which is a website that you can go to find therapists in your area. So please work on this, and you are loved and you deserve to be loved, and you need to love yourself too. So I hope this helps, and this is just the beginning of trying to get those reassuring, that mind that needs to be reassured. This is the beginning step. If you want me to talk about this in more detail, let me know. There's a lot of other things that you can do, and it's just important for you to work on this, because you want to be happy in your life, and you want to be successful, and you want to be loved by others. So let me know if you have any other topics that you want me to cover, and we'll see you next time. Bye.